Now, one trick I recommend, in addition to say, rather than leaning into the chart, you actually lean back from the chart. I think that will help you in identifying or labeling wave patterns a little bit easier, a little bit more confidently. Another simple trick that you can do is to simply apply, in this case here, a 5-period simple moving average. Now, please do not get hung up on 5 periods, okay? If you want to use a 4-period simple moving average, that's fine. If you want to use a 6-period simple moving average, that's fine, makes no never mind to me. If you want to use an exponential moving average instead of a simple, whatever. Again, if we start having that discussion, you're totally missing the point, okay? And that is, we need a simple tool to basically allow our vision to focus on the movement of the actual chart. So by simply applying this 5-period moving average to the price chart of Navistar International, now you can begin to see the ebb and flow, the up and the down, and the up and the down, and the up, and then the down, up, down, up, down, up, and down. Now this moving average, again, brings these waves, this movement and waves, they're pretty much the same thing, makes them a little bit more clear. So now we can begin to say, okay, hey, maybe 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then within this 5th wave move up, a smaller 1, a smaller 2, a smaller 3, a smaller 4, a smaller 5. For example, if we focus on the moving average, the chart becomes much, much easier, I think, to label. So what the moving average does is it simply gives your eyesight, you train in, it gives your eyes the ability to focus on the movement of a chart rather than getting, say, overwhelmed by, say, the staticky nature, the noise of a chart such as this, okay? Now, another idea that may help is, instead of using a single moving average, and that is to use a moving average channel. Now again, what I'm using here is I'm using an 8-period simple moving average channel. What that means is we have a red line here, a top line, that is an 8-period simple moving average of the high. And then we also have an 8-period simple moving average of the low. And again, you can begin to see the ups and downs, the movement, the ebb and flow, the waves of the market. And it's a little bit easier to see. Like, for example, this wave Y, because what we actually worked here was a double 3. I would probably say that's 3 down for A, 3 up for B, a 5-wave move down for C, so that's a flat correction. Here's our X wave, and then notice this movement here. Down, up, down, up, down, up. You can see that not only in the moving average channel, but you can also see that with the moving average, the 5-period. Sometimes I like to look at both. Okay, now I like to look at the single 5-period simple moving average, because it's that moving average is right on top of price. Okay, but sometimes I don't want to see price obstructed, so I tend to use the moving average channel sometimes as well. Either one, whatever works best for you. Give this a shot. And again, do not get hung up on the fact that I'm using an 8-period simple moving average. If you want to use 7, that's fine. If you want to use 9, that's fine. If you want to use 10, that's okay. Just remember, the longer the period, the longer the duration, the more smooth everything will be. If it's a shorter period moving average, like maybe say a 3-period moving average channel, or maybe a 3 or 4-period exponential moving average channel, it's going to be a little bit more responsive to the actual underlying price. Okay, so keep that in mind. But this is a very simple trick that we can do to identify wave structure. Like, for example, here's our moving average channel on Marvell Technology Group. Okay, here off the high, we have a down, up, down sequence. This looks like a up, down, up. This looks like a down, up, down. I think this is, without getting too deep in the weeds, we could probably say that that is an expanded flat right there. Okay, because it has the appropriate components. Now, also too, let me just remind you, what I'm showing you is not a final destination. Okay? This is not where you start, and this is also not where you stop. Like, for example, if I'm looking at just the movement of the moving average channel, I'm quite comfortable in saying that that's a 3-wave decline for wave A, a 3-wave move up for wave B, and then we call this 1 down, 2 up, 3 down, 4 up. Right here, I'm looking at the channel, I'm looking at the red lines, I'm looking at the channel, 4 and 5. Okay, so we would call that an expanded flat correction because wave B terminates beyond the wave A origin point. However, if you look at the substructure within the decline here, you can't call that move up that we saw in March a 4 because it enters into the price territory of wave 1. Remember, these moving averages, whether it's the moving average channel or a singular moving average such as this is a starting point. What you're trying to do is get your focus. It's kind of like if you're looking through a camera lens or maybe a microscope or a telescope. There's that little knob over to the right, sometimes the left, that you got to kind of turn back and forth. What the purpose of that exercise or that action is to bring things into focus. That's what these moving averages or moving average channels allow you to do. Once you get everything in focus, then that's when we need to go back and make sure that what we're looking at does indeed adhere to the rules and guidelines of the wave principle. So where at first glance, price action from the November 2019 peak in Marvel into the March low, while it looks like an expanded flat correction, we can't label it as such because of the 5-wave structure. You have rule violation. Wave 4 ends in the price territory of wave 1. So what we may want to do is simply identify the sell-off that began in January of 2020. Just simply look at the movement to the downside as perhaps maybe this is an ABCX and that's another ABC, or possibly do a combination. We have to work with it. I hope you're getting my point here. I hope I'm not confusing the matter even more. But the subsequent advance is quite nice, actually. And even under closer examination, it does indeed appear to be following the rules and guidelines of the wave principle quite nicely. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're now working wave 5, probably up a little bit higher, up to I got a target of say 42.56 here. And I'm actually using Fibonacci dividers to actually identify that target to the upside. Or we can actually use our standard, what I tend to rely on more often than not, the 1.382 or 2.0 reverse Fibonacci multiple. And as you can see, that still targets that area right around 42. So this looks good for further rally. What's the wave count? Well, again, the moving averages, I think, allow you to zero in or bring into focus more quickly or more easily the underlying structure of the market.